The iPhone 8 and iPhone X have been officially announced. So there's new iPhones in the world. Everyone's excited. Well, maybe everybody, not everybody.
I'm
If you're an
excited.
Android fan, it's interesting because every time there's a new iPhone announced, we get to see like all these features that Android phones have had for a while. We can kind of compare the iPhone to current Android phones, just see how the two different, Android and iOS, how they compare. So there are quite a few interesting things from the event today. Like I said, so there's iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and then iPhone X. So three iPhones.
Before we get into any of that, why did the names, like they had like the naming scheme down for years, right?
Oh yeah,
iPhone 3, iPhone 3GS, iPhone 4, iPhone 4S, da da da, S, and then this year they said screw all that. We're gonna call it the iPhone 8, and then now the iPhone 10X.
yeah.
X,
So they
X10.
skipped the 7S and the 9.
Ah,
I could see a naming pivot next year, like a complete change in naming monikers.
annoying, super
Right.
annoying.
You can't imagine like years from now, iPhone, 23. Like they're gonna change
No,
somehow.
Yeah, Samsung and Apple are going to have to do something eventually.
But anyway, I want to start off with the thing that I'm most excited about. And I think if you're an Android fan, this is probably the thing that you should be most excited about is that
Yes.
all of the iPhones have wireless charging and it's
Woot woot.
Qi wireless charging.
Yes,
Woot woot.
yes. Why are we so excited about this? Tell
Because
me.
now there are going to be wireless charging pads everywhere.
Yep.
Yes. This
Yep.
is the best news I think to come out of this entire thing, and it's something we as Android users have been trying to, I guess, champion for a long time. Wireless charging is pretty cool. It's nice. It's a little slow. It's not the best technology out there, but it can be convenient if places adopted it. If they all go all in on it, like Starbucks, if they incorporate wireless charging into the tables. If your
Yeah.
flight has wireless charging built in, something. I mean, it's so great.
They're doing it for cars and stuff too.
Cars, yes. So all
gonna be
these
pretty
cool. They already have, like, Apple, when they announced it, they had a bunch of partners and stuff that there's going to be McDonald's, so like restaurants and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be amazing because it's just been kind of dead, and that's kind of like the same situation with Apple Pay and Android Pay and our Google Wallet and all that NFC payments. Was you didn't see them very often, not until Apple Pay came around, and then now I can literally go almost anywhere and do tap to pay
Yeah.
with my Android phone now. So it's like
And like you said, wireless charging is not like the best technology right now. It's a little bit slow. But I think with Apple adopting it, hopefully that can kind of like fast track the technology too.
It's great. I mean, he even showed, one of the guys on stage was showing how, I mean, they're even doing their part, and Apple kind of was working with the key wireless standard stuff, and they have their own pad that you can just throw down all your wireless charging stuff on, and it'll just start wirelessly charging them. And they said they're going to be, helping out with that technology as well and using their brain power. So that's freaking great. This is what we need. And
We just won't see that. We won't see that from Apple till next year, they said.
Yeah. So it's wonderful. It's great. We're going to start seeing some cool new stuff from people, and maybe, just random products will just have wireless charging just built into them just because. I mean, it's fantastic. I'm really excited about it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely pretty sweet.
The name for their charging pad, Air Power.
Oh no.
It's gonna
So
blow your
bad.
mind. Yeah.
It's kind of a weak name.
Air Power.
Air Power. Especially for a technology that requires there to be no air in between when you're using it.
That's funny.
All right. Oh, also on the charging front, they mentioned that they have fast charging finally in the iPhone. So
Finally, all
way to
these
get on
years.
board with that.
Yeah, you don't have to worry. Hopefully, you don't have to just worry about using a bigger charging brick, because that's what I do.
Oh yeah.
Because it has more output.
Mm-hmm.
The next big thing. So this is on the iPhone X. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, they have the regular fingerprint scanners, but the iPhone X has
10. You're saying it wrong. You're
It's
saying
the
it
iPhone
completely
10
wrong.
I know. See, that's a weird thing. They were saying 10, but I feel like a lot of people are going to say iPhone X.
It's a Roman numeral.
It is technically iPhone 10.
Next year.
But yeah, so the iPhone 10 doesn't have a fingerprint scanner on the front because the display takes up the whole front. And instead of putting the fingerprint scanner on the back, they were just like, the heck with it. We don't need one. So now Face ID, you can only use your face to unlock the phone securely, at least.
Which, I mean, Apple says is incredibly accurate. They have all kinds of technology involved where they shoot little laser dots onto your face, and then all kinds of infrared sensors, and they use the camera as well. Like all this stuff to make sure that you're you, and you don't just take a picture of your face. You actually scan your whole face like a 3D image into the device. And, in theory, it's supposed to be even more accurate than even say like Touch ID was.
Yeah, they said Touch ID, you would have, what was it, 1 in 500,000?
50,000.
1 in 50,000 would be like incorrect. And then with Face ID, it's like 1 in a million, I think.
Yeah,
1 in a million.
Yeah.
But Andrew, what happened when the guy tried to show off Face ID?
Oh my! What did it feel like? It felt like twice, right? Craig Federighi, Air Force One over there.
Yeah, it failed.
Like you could see, he was like shaking after it failed the first time, and then it failed again.
The work, it could have failed after the fact, and people would have been like, whatever. But that initial introduction,
the first try,
like, let me show you guys how amazing it is, and it failed twice, and he was like,
"It's so rough."
There's nothing worse.
So, like, face unlocking features are not new on Android phones by any stretch.
No. Ice Cream Sandwich. We've had them since back in Ice Cream Sandwich. It's been a long time.
And so it's just interesting. Like, I feel like as good as it could be, which we don't know how good it is yet, really, I feel like the fingerprint scanner is just always going to be more convenient for some situations. Like Apple Pay, for example, you have to use your face before you can pay with your phone. That seems really convenient to me.
I mean, they show it on screen. He kept saying, like, look how fast it is. And he gets the phone, he picks it up to his face, he holds it, it then unlocks, and then he unlocks it. I'm like, by that time, I could be dead if someone's trying to kill me or I'm bleeding out or something. Like, I'm already gone. Like, it's a fingerprint scanner, so much quicker. You can practically unlock your phone as you're pulling it out of your pocket. So it's just, I mean, we're only talking about a couple seconds here, but like, it's enough to make it where it doesn't really feel convenient. And for me, even like the face unlocking features on the Galaxy stuff, like if you have it laying in the bathroom or something, like, oh, let me check that message real quick, and I'm like trying to lean over my counter.
Awkwardly get your face in front of it.
It's not that convenient. The fingerprint is definitely more convenient. And like you were mentioning, Joe, they could have just put a fingerprint scanner in the back where the little Apple logo was or something. Like
that would be almost as cool as wireless charging if they actually did that.
That would have blown people's minds, honestly.
It really would have.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just cut out the fingerprint sensor so that it's in the shape of the Apple's logo, and you just tap it and boom, like that.
You're in.
Maybe next year. Maybe for the 11 or the X1 or whatever.
The iPhone edition.
iPhone X edition.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about that.
So another thing that the iPhone X adopted from Android very recently, though, we can't really say that they adopted it because it's pretty recent. OIS in both lenses. The Note 8 has that also. So I mean, Samsung beat them just by a hair. But yeah, so Chris, are you excited about that? I know you're a big camera.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I am super happy because right now I'm using it on the OnePlus 5, and they have the dual camera system. One zooms in, one's like nice wide angle, and it's awful. Like I've taken so many videos where I'm trying to do like Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, where you don't use actual camera app, you use the app, and it's like shaky as all heck. It is the worst thing, like to not have OIS. So that is a huge deal. I think that's fantastic. So good on them.
Yeah, because when you're zoomed really in on something, your movement get like exaggerated so much.
Way more. It's just like a shaky mess. Any slight movement, and it's just definitely exaggerated. So good.
So this was something that Andrew scoffed at right when they said it. The iPhone 8 is the first phone built for AR.
Ooh.
Not just for, it's not just the first iPhone, it's the first they said it's the first smartphone. Well, that's not, I mean, if you're an Android fan, you know that's not true, because they had, what was it, the Lenovo Tango Fab 2 Pro, whatever.
Yeah, don't you like currently have an AR phone?
I have the Zenfone AR with me right now.
Yeah, he was just looking at his phone. He was like, "What is this then?" And he was like, "I don't know." Just
Yeah.
put it away.
Yeah. Well, I guess
It's
this
not
is
the
worth
first phone
nothing
AR,
now.
that's for sure.
Doesn't exist.
Oh, man. But it was just, you can't say stuff like that.
That's a classic Apple move.
It is, but
But
it's
typically you see Apple say like, it's the first iPhone, with blah blah blah, and you're like,
it's
oh,
the
okay.
first smartphone though.
Yeah, they had some gall.
I mean, they did that a little bit with the wireless charging too. They were talking about it like it hadn't been like I've been using wireless charging since I had like a Windows phone. It's been around for a long time.
I'm trying. What was like the very first Android phone that had like key built into it?
I remember Nexus 4 had it, and that was a big
Nexus
deal.
4, yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been the first where people were like, "Ooh."
How many years ago was that?
That was so long ago.
It's quite a while ago. Yeah, it's definitely not new technology.
Yeah.
Well, that was the big thing. Like, not to rehash the wireless charging thing, but like as soon as they said wireless charging, the first thing I was like, please be Qi, please be Qi. Because if Apple goes and does their own proprietary thing, then
we're gonna be
all for naught.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge that it's Qi. That's really
all right. So getting back to the iPhone features. I mean, this one's huge, guys. This is a huge feature.
Oh no.
Animoji.
Hey.
I'm
actually pretty excited for that.
Guys are dissing on it so much. I actually thought it was very cool.
Chris, why don't you explain what it is then?
They're basically 3D animated emojis that will track. They use the facial tracking features of the iPhone X. So this is an iPhone 10 exclusive. And it just, you move your face, and then the little emojis move their face in the exact same way, and it's kind of cool. So you can send little voice messages to somebody in with your face as like a monkey or a duck or whatever it is. And I mean, now that I got the
tagline right here.
It doesn't
iPhone X. Cool. iPhone X. You can be the poop emoji.
You can you can be the POS, the POS that you always were.
I mean, they literally were showing off like the guy that you mentioned earlier, Andrew. What's his name? Craig
Federighi.
Yeah, he was like being the poop emoji on stage, and I'm just like, what is happening right now?
That is so. I was laughing pretty good.
I mean, it's the technology, you guys. Like, you have to see the bigger picture. It's amazing. And then the Snapchat, they were showing how they're working with Snapchat to do some pretty like advanced facial masks and stuff, where it's like paint looks like it's on your face and it moves around, and it's awesome. It was pretty cool. Fun
Snapchat
stuff.
Like, not to divert from the main conversation, but isn't Snapchat, why didn't they do something with Instagram?
I'm sure everyone's going to be hitting up Apple soon, trying to get those iPhone 10 features.
Yeah.
That actually brings up something interesting though, the face scanning and whatnot. Do you think there are going to be like people freaking out about the iPhone scanning your face and like learning your face? Because like, the iPhone is such a big product. Like everyone, your aunt and uncle on Facebook are going to be like, oh, the iPhone, it recognizes your face. I mean, it's storing your face.
It was the same kind of tinfoil hat people that were they had the same concerns about your fingerprints. And it's like, now they have a fingerprint database, and now they're going to send drones to kill you.
They got your fingerprint. Now they got your face.
Yeah, now they have your face. They completed the whole thing. Like, now they're going to ask for your blood next year or something, and then it's all
blood ID.
Hair
with the Apple Watch.
Hair sample ID. With the Apple Watch, you can just like. So I mean, I think some people will be concerned. I actually did see somebody on Twitter who was like, "Just a heads up, it's now super easy for the cops to confiscate your phone and unlock it with your face without a warrant." And I was like, I mean, you could just close your eyes. Like, you have to be facing, unless they peel your face back. I mean, I don't know. That's just
cops hold your eyes open.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds a little far fetched, but
just
it's possible.
I think that kind of wraps up the big bullet points for the iPhone 8 and the iPhone X.
What was the iPhone 8? Like, what was so great about it?
Yeah, the iPhone 8 is kind of weird. I'm interested to see who's actually going to be buying that, because it's like, what was it, $200 or $300 cheaper?
Yeah, it starts at $699, which is $300.
Yeah, and the
cheaper.
iPhone X is $999.
Definitely cheaper, but not as fun. Like there's nothing really. It's literally a 7S is what
it is a 7S.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
really is.
the big thing is they added the glass front and back for wireless charging, and that's about it. And the new processor, but that's about it.
You don't get the big, bezel-less display. You don't get the face unlocking. You don't get Animoji. I mean, if you don't get Animoji, what point is there to buy?
I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's going to wrap up the iPhone 8. Interested to hear from everybody, tuning in for this. How do you think it compares with Android phones? Is it Android the best smartphone out there now?
Is it the best? Android is through. We're done.
Yep. But let us know. But until next time, this has been the Fancast, and we'll talk to y'all later.
Take it.